I explain this every single video I do when it comes to James Gunn's DC universe about him arriving in DC and including myself. I'm like, yes, finally, somebody who finally gets it, somebody who understands superheroes, somebody who understands characters, character development, all this, that, even said gods and monsters is what we're going to be starting the DC with. And so far, man, it has been way, way, way too underwhelming, and I would go as far as saying disappointing, especially after Peacemaker Season 2. I mean, we started out with Creature Commandos, and I was like, you know what? Not the thing I would start out with, James Gunn, but you know what? Go off. You might do something great. Watch Creature Commandos, was less than impressed. Very underwhelming, and I'll probably go as far as saying, yep, disappointing. Again. But you know what? I was like, it's the first project that James Gunn has done under the DC banner in terms of once he took it over. We already know about Suicide Squad and Peacemaker Season 1. But this was like, whatever. And then, obviously, you go back to even 2 years before that, before we even got Creature Commandos. James Gunn came out and said Flash was one of the best movies he ever saw. And once we sat down and watched that movie, we knew he was fucking lying. Then we get to Superman. And do we even need to say anything about Superman? I mean, that was such a disappointment. It's not even funny. And I still wasn't too worried. I was like, you know what? Superman, I'm not a big fan of Superman, so I don't really have a say in whether, they, in terms of the character, whatever. Didn't really care. But then we get to Peacemaker Season 2 at the end of last summer. Or I guess it was during the fall. And that was just like, I was like, bro, this isn't that, like, who's doing this? Who's directing this? Who's writing this shit? I'm like, look, Peacemaker Season 1 was its own thing. Again, I had my gripes with that, whatever. But once we got to Peacemaker Season 2, I said, we got to throw James Gunn away. This guy turned on the fans faster than I don't know what. Like, how do we go from Guardians to a really good Suicide Squad movie, by the way, and to me personally, a decent Peacemaker Season 1, a decent Season 1 to a character that most people don't even know about. So I thought, it had its isms, like I always say, it had its isms, it had its little, woke stuff in it too, but for the most part, it was a pretty good show. Until we got to Season 2. And it turned into complete hogwash. So then we get the picture of Kyle Chandler and the dude that looks like a live action version of Scar from Lion King. Once we look at that picture, I was like, bro, we are cooked. And yes, we got the ring and a little trailer that we got last week. I wish I could show the trailer, but everybody's getting hit on it, so I'm not even going to bother showing the trailer. But now you have fans like this. And I don't even want to call these guys, these are quote unquote fans. There's no way these guys are fans, because if they were real fans, they wouldn't be fighting tooth and nail to die on a hill that they know damn well that they are wrong about. They know that this is not the character of Jon Stewart. They know this is not the real Hal Jordan. And I love Kyle Chandler. Friday Night Lights, come on. I only watched Wolf of Wall Street simply because Kyle Chandler was casted in that movie. So I love Kyle Chandler. I mean, I'm still mad at what's that show? Mayor of Kingstown. They killed him in the freaking first episode. Still a great show, but I was pretty pissed that they killed Kyle Chandler in that opening episode. So one could say at the very least I am a Kyle Chandler fan. And the guy that plays Jon Stewart, I've only seen him in a couple things. Pretty good actor. Doesn't look like Jon Stewart, but we can get past that. Obviously, whatever. If he's good, he's good. But then we get to the trailer. And the entire time I'm sitting in the trailer like this, like, really? This is what we're getting? This is what we're getting? A more grounded show. They love using that stupid fucking word when it comes to stuff that should not be grounded. You want to know what made the Dark Knight trilogy in general pretty, I would say at the time at least, it stood out? It's because you can do that with Batman. You can make Batman a more grounded guy with fantastical fucking villains and shit like that. Like, we've always fucking known that. But ever since the Dark Knight trilogy, they've been trying to do this with all these different superheroes, and it has never, I can't say never, but more times than not, it doesn't work. It does not fucking work. They try to do all this weird stuff when it came to, well, let's represent this in this show and let's stand for that in this movie. And it's like, whoa, we're getting so far away from what made these superheroes great. We're getting so far away that made us really hate these villains. But now we want sympathetic villains, or we want villains that are just racist and that's it. They hate black people and hate women, and then that's what makes them a villain. Like, whoa. What are we doing here? Why are we nuking this character to try and preach a message over here? So this is why I get mad at retards like these three idiots that we're staring at, that we're gonna be watching here in a few seconds, because they don't get it. Well, they do get it, but they'd rather virtue signal and die on hills, just so they can continue to get views, just so they can continue to get media and press passes to these movies and projects, and get interviews with celebrities that will forget their fucking name 5 minutes after they've even done the interview. But go off, little bros.
Looking at the frames, and I'm going, okay, are some of these people aliens that have integrated into society? It just, for whatever reason, it just like stirs that kind of a vibe and feeling as I'm watching it.
Like an Area 51 Men in Black vibe. Then that's what you're talking about, Adam.
Wait. So you mean to tell me that Captain Marvel didn't do that? Aliens that integrated to society? Like, it's the first time we ever seen that shit, even in a comic book movie or a superhero movie. Maybe I should be a little more specific and saying superhero instead of comic book. But you get what I'm saying. Did we not get that with Captain Marvel? Did we not get that with Secret Invasion? And I'm sure amongst other things as well. Aliens among the society. People hiding and enemies hiding in plain sight. I thought we were going to get like Sinestro or some shit like that. Nope. They're talking about the Red Lantern, and it's some old dude playing them, by the way. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. What are we doing? This is the dog shit that we're supposed to be spending our attention and time and money on? A Green Lantern show with no fucking Green Lanterns? We already had a Black Panther movie with no Black Panther. We already had a Superman movie with no real fucking Superman. We had a Flash movie where the dude's in his feelings the entire fucking movie, and you had the most insufferable fucking actor in the entire space of Hollywood play himself twice in the same movie. So, yeah, I would say DC has made it completely worse on themselves. We thought we were getting a dub with James Gunn. Instead, we got a dud. And even worse than that, James Gunn has set DC Studios back, has set DC movies and characters back so far that I don't think anybody would ever want to see a Batman movie come from James Gunn's DC. And when I say I don't think anyone, I'm not just talking about myself, because trust me, I am really not wanting James Gunn to touch Batman at all. Everything I've heard about this Batman Brave and the Bold movie that he's trying to do, I've not heard one single good thing where I was like, that's a good idea. I could fuck with that. No, not at all. Zero chance.
I'm feeling when they're stepping into this auditorium, they got the big American flag hanging ominously in the middle of this auditorium. It feels like that sort of, is this just MAGA country?
Bruh. I know your name is Hector Navarro, or however the fuck you say your last name, but fam, just because you see it in America, like, this is the problem, not just with media, but this is the problem just with people in general, man. Like, I hear these kind of conversations every day. He's got an American flag. Oh, he must be racist or MAGA or what. It's like, bro, you can't, like, you're taking the flag of our country and making it synonymous with a fucking movement? You fucking idiots. And then on top of that, he's saying, oh, this is going to be MAGA country. But you know what? This is what James Gunn has implanted in all of these fucking... I was about to say the word. But this is what James Gunn has implanted in all these weirdos' minds, is that if you see the American flag in DC studios now, in a DC movie or project now, it just automatically makes you think racist, supremacist, Nazi, that word they love using all the time, amongst other words, obviously, or terms. That's the issue that I have with James Gunn. That's one of the biggest issues I have, not just with James Gunn, but with Hollywood in general now. Is that when you see scenes like that, when you see it was a small little, like, they spent maybe 2 seconds on that, like they panned the camera over to the American flag in that little warehouse stand. You saw the guy on the podium standing talking. But I wouldn't put it past James Gunn. I would not put it past James Gunn, even though he didn't write it, he didn't direct it or anything like that. He's the head of the fucking studio. So can you guys please stop saying that on Twitter? He didn't write it. He didn't direct it. He has nothing to do with it. Oh, so Kevin Feige has nothing to do with Avengers Endgame. Kevin Feige had nothing to do with fucking WandaVision. Kevin Feige had nothing to do with that awful fucking Marvels movie. Yeah, miss me with that one. James Gunn knows exactly what he's doing. He knows exactly the kind of audience that he's cultivating. He knows exactly the kind of fan base that he is creating and making so big that it is going to be glorious to see the disappointment on their face when they say James Gunn will not be returning as the head of DC Studios in 2020, 8 or 7, whenever it is that his contract ends. I think it ends at the end of 27. Yeah. It's going to be glorious because you have weirdos like this now saying, literally just loosely using the term. And we saw John Campaign do it when Peacemaker Season 2 came out, and I did that video, and you heard him his damn self. Oh, yeah, the MAGAs are... It's just like, bro, like, come the fuck on. Like, why do we have to make everything political? Why do we have to make everything a stupid fucking political statement? Why can't we just have good shows?
Or... is this show going to do a sort of science fiction metaphor to kind of talk about that in the way that a lot of communities can glom on to that real hateful stuff?
I know I keep pausing it, but if you guys have ever watched any video on my channel, you guys know I do this a lot. I dissect a lot. I don't know. But the fact that this guy just used the word hateful. They latch on and here's the thing. I was about to rewind it, but I ain't even going to rewind it back. I don't want to hear this guy's voice anymore. Any more than I have to. You're saying that the American flag, that 2 second pan of the camera to the American flag and the guy on the podium and the crowd sitting there, and that's what you gathered. Not only did you gather the American flag and making it synonymous with MAGA for some stupid ass reason, but then you go on 5 seconds later and use the term hateful or hate, whatever you just said. Again, another problem that we have in media, another problem that we have with these stupid ass quote unquote fans, that as soon as they see one thing, they automatically say, "Oh, this is hate. This is hate. This is anger." It's just like, bro, this is our country's flag. This is the flag that has been in so many fucking comic books that it's not even funny. And let me tell you something: Green Lantern, whether you want to say Hal Jordan or John Stewart, fam, this is supposed to be a show that is not taking place on Earth. That is the second problem I have, other than the suits. The suits is one thing. And I'm not the only person that has obviously came to this conclusion that they're not going to get their suits until the very end of the show. I'm not the only person on the internet saying that. So I'm not even going to keep regurgitating that point. But that, because I already gathered that when we saw the picture last year. I was like, yeah, these niggas ain't going to be wearing their suits that long in the show. It's not going to happen. And then you watch the trailer, and sure enough, you got Jon Stewart talking down on Hal Jordan. And then you got a female sheriff, and it's like, bro, I understand that these bitches exist. And this is coming from somebody that is a big Yellowstone fan. And I'm watching the U.S. Marshals show, and you got not one but two bitches on the Marshals team. I'm like, bro, in what world? What fucking, like, what are the chances? There's like a 0.3% chance of that ever happening anywhere when it comes to U.S. Marshals in the entire country. And you got 2 women on the same fucking team as the 2 quote unquote badasses. And it's supposed to be a spinoff of a fucking Yellowstone show. So it ain't just DC catching it. And I ain't just out here just throwing strays or just anything. No. This is shit that I'm actually sitting here watching. This is shit that I actually care about. This is shit that I've actually invested my fandom, my time, my money, my energy into. And then y'all are going to sit here. Like, look at these 2 guys. Look at their faces right now. I know it's all positive, but look at their faces right now. Dude, does any of this ever strike to you that they are real fucking fans? Does any of this strike to you that they are doing this because they love it? Does any of this strike to you that they actually care about the Green fucking Lantern as a character? Or do they just want to spew out what they think their followers are going to like? Or they think the people that pay them are going to like? Or are they going to spew out what they think is going to get them press passes at the next DC event? Ain't no way they looked at the same trailer that I did and said, yeah, this is awesome. This is great. I can't wait. We're gonna teach all those races a lesson. Like, how many projects have we had where we have to keep teaching quote unquote racists and Nazis and men that hate women and blah 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 a lesson? Can we stop it? That trailer, that Lanterns trailer, is such a big red flag. I don't see how this show is not dead on arrival. It has to be. It has to be. And I don't want to be the guy to sit here. It's like, oh, Corn, you're hoping for the failure of this. No, I don't ever hope for the failure of shit that I love. But at the end of the day, we have to old yeller this motherfucker, dude. Because there is no way we're going to sit up here and say, yes, Superman, Man of Tomorrow is going to be $1 billion movie. Fam, nobody came out and watched that motherfucker, dude. Let alone, we all saw the drop-off after that second weekend. So, I'm telling you right now, man, like, get your shit together, James Gunn. Because if not, this is the future, not just of DC, this is the future of superheroes. Where nobody's really going to give a fuck unless it's really bad, like the Lanterns trailer.
And Green Arrow is also in DC Comics, he's known as the most liberal or left-wing character. He really cares about social equality and social justice. So with these stories written by the late, great Denny O'Neil, he had Green Lantern, Hal Jordan, be a character who comes down from space, and then you had a black man call him out very famously and say, you help the pink skins and the green skins and the blue skins and the orange skins, but what about the black skins?
Again, why are we talking about fucking race? Why are we talking about color? I understand that shit happened in the gay-ass fucking issue of the comics. We're talking about 2026. You have to come up with a show to win the fans back and to win new fans over. It's the same thing. It's the same formula as fucking professional wrestling. Keep your fan base while winning new fans over. You can't even keep your fucking fan base. There are no fans left of this shit. Because those of us are so used to being angry at the directors, at the writers, at the people that claim that they know what the fuck they're doing, that these guys act like they don't know what they're doing. Tell me the difference between James Gunn and Triple H right now. Guys that have proven that they know what they're doing, have been proven for years, well over a decade with Triple H, but decades, multiple, with James Gunn, who has proven that he knows how to do this. He knows these characters in and out. But something or someone, something could be money, or hey, you get to keep your job as long as you push these narratives, as long as you push or virtue signal these agendas. I don't know. I'm not in those rooms. I wish I could be at a fly in a room just so I could hear what the fuck is going through James Gunn's head when he's writing this dumb shit or when he's coming up with this dumb shit. Yeah, we're going to have Green Lanterns, no Green Lantern, so we're just going to call it Lantern, and we're going to make it grounded. We're going to make it relatable to 3% of the fucking world. And we're going to come up with Tom King, by the way, virtue signaling fuck, and some other guy that wrote, oh yeah, that's right, he wrote on Watchmen. Not the movie, the show. Yeah. Anybody knows about the Watchmen show? Not a good one. It's actually the complete opposite. Complete dumpster fire of a fucking show.
He became a character to represent that of like, oh, Hal needs to get back down and become grounded and look around. And what can he actually do with his ring to help people? And I think he became a character who represented maybe white Americans having to understand, like, okay, what is our status? What's going on in the U.S.? What's it like for Black Americans? What's it like for non-white Americans? Like, what's happening? And
how do I become an ally?
Even though, exactly.
God damn, bro, what the fuck? These are the people that we're listening to, man. These are the people that we're letting dictate what the directors, what these writers, and what these showrunners are fucking doing on these shows. Shut the fuck up. Y'all are so retarded when it comes to the lore, bro. I don't get how you say you read comic books. You read this issue. You read that. Dude, all you're reading are the gay issues that came out in the late 2000s, bro. The ones that they already tried to implement in people's minds that, oh yeah, Dick Grayson likes dick. Oh yeah, Hal Jordan is a white supremacist. Like all this other stuff, man. Like, shut the fuck up. Us real fans would like a real show with the real characters. That's all we want. We don't need virtue signaling here. We don't need gay this. We don't need white man bad that. We don't need none of that, man. Give me two superheroes that have some conflict, that actually wear their fucking suits. Give me two actors that don't care, and I love Kyle Chandler. Again, love Kyle Chandler. But give me two actors that actually don't care about having their face shown every second of the damn show. This isn't the Kyle Chandler and the dude that looks like the real life version of Scar show. This is supposed to be a Green Lantern show, but it ain't even a Green Lantern show. Just a Lantern show. I'm done with these. Let's go ahead and go to John Campaign, man. Get this shit over with. Because this guy, and I don't know how many times I have to like implement this, how many times I have to state this, but John Campaign is a man that should not, well, questionable whether he's a man or not, but he's a guy that should not be trusted under any circumstance with his opinion on anything.
But the new trailer has come out. And now look, I have always been a little iffy on how a Lantern series could be. But then I heard that they were going to
You notice he didn't even say Green Lanterns. How a Lantern show would be?
Kind of take a mystery thriller approach to it and make it like True Detective.
Which always sounded bad. It sounds good if you said True Detective in space. Abso-fucking-lutely. A grounded show of the Green Lanterns without the green, without the ring, without the suits. And we're going to make it like True Detective. Doesn't that sound great, guys? Abso-fucking-lutely not.
Yeah.
And as soon as they said that, I'm like, okay, speak more words. I'm listening. That really fascinated me. But still, I've kind of wondered, how will that actually turn out? Now, forever, all we had was that one picture. Feels like for 6 years, all we had is that one picture
which is
of John.
Which is literally the picture that we see right here, by the way, down there. That's the picture I was talking about at the beginning of the video.
And Chandler walking side by side, right? That's all we've had.
Just solving crimes.
Solving crimes, doing what we do. This trailer dropped.
Look at this picture. Does this scream Green Lanterns to you at all? Does it scream Green Lanterns to you at all? No, it doesn't. I know you can barely see the ring down there. If you really look really hard, yes, he's wearing the fucking green ring. Whoop-de-fucking-do. I'm so disappointed, bro. Like, it's not even funny. I'm so fucking disappointed.
I'm going to tell you right now. I think this is the best trailer we've had out of anything DC. I mean, the new DC. And you know, I loved a couple of Superman trailers, and I really like the Supergirl trailer, the Peacemaker trailers. I think this is the best trailer they've put out. Now, I get it. This is not what you would think a Green Lantern trailer would look like. I'm sure there were a lot of people who clicked play expecting to see a big space opera fantasy with space battles and glowing neon Ryan Reynolds-like suits and all that. And nothing wrong with that, by the way. Yeah.
By the way, if you're a Ryan Reynolds, you are one happy motherfucker right now. You are one. You're like, oh, thank God. I am no longer the worst iteration of Green Lantern. Thank you, James Gunn, for fucking this character up even more. That they don't have to remember me as Green Lantern. They're going to remember this dog shit right here.
It's totally understandable if that's what you thought you were going to get when you clicked on a Green Lantern's trailer. Totally get it. And for those who did approach it thinking that's what they were going to get, I understand that might then be a little bit jarring. I do. But I don't care. This trailer's awesome. I don't care. I don't care. This delivered exactly what I was hoping it would be when we heard True Detective. And
so you just want a True Detective because there's only one good season of True Detective, you fucking idiots, man. Only one good season of True Detective, and it was the first one. Now, the second one was okay. You had Taylor Kish. You had Old Girl, too. I get it. You had some good actors and actresses in season 2. And you can even go to the, what's the old dude that plays Blade? Oh, fuck, I forget his name. Something Ali. Not Muhammad Ali, but might as well be the same thing. But old dude was supposed to play Blade, ended up voicing him for like 5 seconds. Mahershala Ali. The season that they had with him, a True Detective, was bad. That was supposed to be really good because I was like, oh, great actor. I forgot who they had write the fucking, and then they had some lady lead the True Detective, and that did absolutely nothing. That did horrible fucking views. So True Detective has literally gone down ever since the first season. I don't know why they thought, let's do a True Detective. True Detective is what we think of, is what I want you to think of when we think of the Green Lanterns. Sorry, James. You are sadly mistaken.
And the lines in it are just great. Like when Jon Stewart's like, you're old, you're tired, you're past your time. I'm like, oh, damn.
Yeah, because we haven't seen old, tired, past their time heroes in the past 10 years. And like half of our superhero projects, whether movies or shows. Again, nothing new. And I'm not saying that this had to like reinvent the wheel. James Gunn or whoever the fuck, Tom King and all these other fucking weirdos a part of this project had to reinvent the wheel. We're not asking for you guys to reinvent the wheel. We're just asking for something to be actually accurate for once. And I'm not saying it has to be balls on accurate. It would help if you're balls on accurate, but just be relatively accurate to the characters. This ain't Hal Jordan, fam. This ain't Jon Stewart, fam. Shut the fuck up. But we already know John Campea is with the shits when it comes to dying on hills for no fucking reason. So I'm not surprised at John Campaign's fucking reaction to this. I'm not surprised one bit. But you know whose reaction and review I am surprised by? Highly respected Robert Meyer Burnett. Let's go ahead and get his reaction.
But right now, I think it looks awesome. Rob, you had a chance to see this trailer. What were your thoughts?
Dude, I loved it too. I mean, I love Green Lantern. When I was a kid, the Justice League was my jam, and I've always liked, whether it was Alan Scott, whether it was Hal Jordan, whether it was Jon Stewart, Kyle Rayner, I didn't care. Kilowog. I love the Green Lantern Corps. I like what Jeff Johns did in his very long run, when he did Blackest Night and he did the all the different storylines that he did. That said, what I really loved about this trailer, I love seeing superhero stories when they take huge fantasy characters like Hal Jordan, Jon Stewart, and bring them down to earth.
But they've done that with every fucking project, bro. I hate when they say this. Like, people, I love when they make these characters and put them on the ground. I love when they take the capes off of these characters and put them in normal clothes. I love when they take the crown off the king and just put them in normal fucking bum-ass homeless clothes and just have them just lounge around and not do what kings do. I love watching a Mission Impossible movie with no fucking action. I love watching a James Bond movie where they did that, never mind. But you guys get what I'm saying. Let's just go ahead and clip the wings off this fucking bird and call it a day. That's what you're saying.
And like I was telling you, when I started buying comics again in the early 80s, they reprinted the Neil Adams, Denny O'Neil run of Green Lantern and Green Arrow when they sort of traveled across the country. And it's a great run of comics. I have the absolute version, which I think everybody should pick up if you have the means. I love this. I love their dynamic. I love this adversarial, buddy cop, whether it's Lethal Weapon or 48 Hours or Midnight Run. I mean, I love that kind of badgering friendship, reluctant. And of course, they'll eventually team up and there'll be an invaluable partnership and they'll save the world or whatever. But this looked so...
Somebody said that Hal Jordan dies in the end. And I was like, I don't know how more obvious they can make that with this trailer. Like, that, there's nothing more obvious than the fact that Hal Jordan is going to die in the end and they're going to pass it down. And again, like, Jon Stewart is a Green Lantern. Like, he's one of the main Green Lanterns. We get that. We understand that. That's factual. Great character. Not one of my favorite characters. Not even my favorite Green Lantern. But I ain't going to shit on him. Cool. He's a cool Green Lantern. But let's be honest, man. We know what the fuck y'all are doing. It's 2026. And the optics are more clear than ever. The agendas are more clear than ever. The propaganda is more understandable and much easier to point out than ever before. But this is what y'all choose to do. This is what y'all choose to say, oh man, instead of sitting here and looking as a fan and saying, wow, man, this just doesn't hit, man. It ain't really that good, y'all. I don't get it. Instead of doing that, instead of saying, you know what, man, I'll leave I'll leave it open for interpretation. I'm gonna wait till the show comes out, blah blah. And we all are. Trust me, we get it. But instead of just doing that, you guys get so fucking like, I don't know whether it's just because y'all are vaxxed. I don't know if it's because maybe it's drugs. I don't know if it's because y'all really, they sent y'all an email and said, hey, y'all, when when Lantern comes out, we got some media passes for y'all to do these freaking interviews with all the actors and actresses and blah, 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 whatever. Whenever they do that, oh, somebody's calling me. But whenever they do that, whenever they do shit like this, like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Oh, we've never had superheroes take off their capes or not have their suits and be grounded. I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you, but I will say this. We heard it straight from the whore's mouth that Green Lanterns was never going to be Green Lanterns.
So, you just announced a Green Lantern show. It's called Lanterns because we all agreed that the green was stupid. So, right. So now it's just Lanterns. So,
and I understand this clip is at least like a year old or so. But at the time, everyone thought this guy was joking. Everyone thought there's no way that James Gunn, a guy that has claimed that he is this big fan of comic books, he's also what we thought, proven to us that he's this big fan of comic book superheroes. Guardians of the Galaxy, Suicide Squad. And then we get the trailer. And we're like, yeah, James Gunn really let this one go. James Gunn really went off the deep end and got the most how do I say this? The most unfaithful superhero fans of all time. That's who James Gunn hired. You know how many cosplayers look better in their suits than what we've gotten from James Gunn's characters so far? You know how many cosplayers alone, from Green Lantern alone, that we've seen, that I've even seen over the past 4 days? I'm like, bruh, if y'all worried about money, if y'all worried about this or that, whatever, of why y'all can't do the suit every fucking episode, first of all, don't do the Green Lantern show if you're not going to give us green fucking lanterns. 2, if it's about the cost, how about you don't hire the two mainstream actors, 2 mainstream Hollywood actors to be in your show, and maybe the cost will go down. And on top of that, you know that there's this thing called cosplay, right? You know there's this thing called practical, right? So you can literally do a Green Lantern suit every fucking episode, especially I don't even know how many episodes this show is even going to be. It's the layups that make me so mad. Because Green Lantern is a layup. Peacemaker Season 2 should have been a layup. Superman was a layup. And I barely even know about it. Like, I barely know shit about Superman. Honestly, I barely care about Superman. I know a lot about Superman, but I really care about him. 3 layups that you've already missed. And again, this show hasn't even come out yet, and we already know you did not do a faithful adaptation of either one of these characters. So bad that you even put a female sheriff in the trailer to emasculate these 2 men. I don't get it, man. I really don't fucking get it. This is absolutely ridiculous, the fact that we have to sit here now and just take all this fucking slop that DC, MCU, that all these other people, that all these other studios and that have these large IPs are giving us. I don't know, man. Let me know what you guys think. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what y'all think. Hit that like, subscribe, all that good stuff. It's your boy Corn, and per usual, I am disappointed. Very disappointed.